know, they're so cute. And I think they'll show up so good because they're sparkly.
They're so sparkly.
I like it so
Love
much with
it.
stars and everything. Oh, well,
Hey, we have merch, y'all.
Nisa, not really, because my niece made these. Thank you, Lindsay. But
Thank you, Lindsay. But I think we should have merch.
I do too.
We have our own merch store with sparkling everything and just like bedazzled everything and sequins and just, oh, I can see it now.
Maybe one day. But we've got to get started now, so roll it. Hello, and here we are with Pages for All Ages. I'm Leah Godwin from Fitzgerald Elementary.
And I'm Nisa Campos from Pope Elementary. And I guess I'll get this show started.
Yes.
All right. My first book is Jacquelyn Hide by Annabeth, Bondor-Stone, and Connor White. This book is appropriate for students in grades 3 through 6. Jacquelyn Hide is a perfectionist. Perfectionist is putting it mildly. If Jacquelyn Hide is in charge, it's going to be perfect. Now, unfortunately, Jacquelyn has a horrible, terrible, no good, very bad day, and that's pretty hard to take for someone who wants only perfection. Having to chase her pet rabbit that has escaped, Jacquelyn follows it into a house that everyone says is haunted and was previously owned by the local mad scientist. There, she finds a recipe for perfection potion. Jacquelyn creates the concoction and drinks it, and uh-oh. This potion turns Jacquelyn into Jackie, and Jackie does nothing but create havoc in pursuit of making sure Jacquelyn is perfect. Jacquelyn only has a short amount of time before she permanently becomes Jackie, and she has to save the school before they all become these alter egos. Jacquelyn learns that being perfect is unattainable and we all have flaws. Putting pressure on ourselves and others can be costly. We pay with stress, anxiety, and disappointment. We have great days, good days, meh days, and horrible days. They all make us who we are, and we have to give ourselves a break sometimes and just breathe. This book has a mad scientist, evil principal, potions, comedy, and a huge, ginormous ending. It is a fantastic version of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And just, did you see that cover?
I love that cover.
That cover is what stopped me in my tracks, and it's really cute. Love it, love it, love it.
It's Okay to Be Different by Todd Parr, and I'm going to call this a reminder book. It was published back in 2001, but sometimes we need a reminder to use a book that we already know. We had some difficulty in a couple of classes about children not getting along because they were different, and I pulled this book out. I love Todd Parr's simple and colorful illustrations and repetitive text. What a great book to celebrate diversity. My favorite pages, every page starts with, it's okay to have this, or it's okay to be that. So it's okay to have different friends. And of course, I always love the note that Todd Parr puts at the back of his books, which sums the whole book up. It's okay to be different. You are special and important just because of being who you are. Love, Todd. Share this book. You never know who needs the reassurance or the affirmation. And I'd like to share just a little story. I read this afternoon to a group of first graders. And a little boy that sometimes needs a wheelchair loved the page that said, it's okay to have wheels.
That's cute.
So it was really sweet. So touched my heart a little.
Todd Parr never goes out of style.
Oh, he never does go out of style. And the kids are so drawn to the colorful books and everything. So
thank you for putting that reminder
thank you
in the forefront of our brains.
You're welcome.
My next book is My Jasper June by Laurel Schneider. It is a middle grade book. It is a realistic fiction. In this book, 13-year-old Leah is having a rough go of it. She's not connecting with her friends, and she's not looking forward to summer. No summer camp for her this year. Her little brother died last year. Her parents are grieving, and they aren't really present in her life. She is bored out of her mind one summer day and ventures out of the house. She stumbles across a girl named Jasper, a wild-haired redhead who is vivacious. She's what Leah needs in her life right now. As the girls become friends, they begin to share their secrets. We learn Jasper has run away from an abusive home and is now on her own, living in an abandoned cottage of sorts. We learn Leah blames herself for her little brother's death. Leah sees Jasper as living in a fairy tale, but with time, she begins to understand the desperateness in the situation. Is she willing to sacrifice their friendship to save Jasper from a life of homelessness? This is a beautiful story of friendship, loss, grieving, and doing what is right despite what your friend wants. Sometimes promises have to be broken to do what's right and to save our friends from themselves. This book, incredible. Have you heard of this one?
I love that.
This book was all over Twitter for a hot minute, and it was great, and the cover is another gorgeous cover.
And I love it that the main character's name is Leo. Sometimes you don't hear that name very often,
No, you
and
don't.
then you hear it more and more and more. So I like my name.
I love your name. I love you.
Oh, thank you. I love you too, Nisa.
Let's see if I can ever find Nitsa on a keychain or a Coke can or in a book one day. We'll see.
We'll have to make sure that happens.
Maybe.
My next book is The Immoral Code by Lillian Clark. This is a young adult contemporary fiction novel that will keep you on the edge of your seat. This story is told from 5 viewpoints, and it hinges on high school seniors making plans to go to college. It involves scholarships, work plans, and getting accepted to top universities. When Bellamy finds out that she is accepted to MIT, but she needs financial aid, she finds out she can't get it because her absentee father is a financial tycoon worth billions of dollars. In steps Neri with her tech-savvy, logical mind. Neri figures out a way to skim money from Foster's numerous accounts as interest is figured on a daily basis. All of the friends have a special part to play in the infiltration and the heist of Foster International. Keegan drives, Santiago plants the virus in the computers, Reese is the distraction, while Bellamy is the right-hand woman. All of this takes place under the watchful eye of Neri, the mastermind. This reminded me of a heist movie like Ocean's 11 mixed with a little bit of Breakfast Club. It was really, really good. They only wanted about $80,000. But they ended up doing this on a Friday afternoon, and by Monday morning, they had $295,000 in their secret bank account.
That reminds me of the movie Office Space. Have you seen Office Space?
No, I haven't.
What? Oh, yeah. Have y'all seen Office Space? Spencer and Mackenzie are here. Yeah, where they try to skim like a half a cent like every couple weeks, and yeah, they have.
Well, they thought they had the whole summer to do it, and over a weekend they had over $295,000. I mean, it worked too well.
Why can't I have friends like that?
I don't know.
Who know how to? Not that I would ever do that. I would never do that. Just.
But anyway, great book. I loved it that it was told from the different viewpoints. That really,
I like that.
you know, helped a lot. It was really good. I love what it says on the front too. Payback's a glitch.
That's cute. That's cute.
Great book.
All right, my next book is The Roots of Rap, 16 Bars on the 4 Pillars of Hip Hop. It is by Carole Boston Weatherford. It is illustrated by Frank Morrison. It is a picture book appropriate for students in grades Kinder through 6. However, I believe it is okay for students and kids and adults of all ages. So this book honors graffiti, rapping/MCing, breakdancing, and DJing, which are the 4 pillars of hip hop. It's a rhyming book with illustrations that are big and bold and impressive. The sentences are short and rhythmic, but they speak volumes. Carole Boston Weatherford is able to concisely tell about the history of hip hop. She has the precision of a surgeon. She knew just what to write to speak over decades of hip hop history. Her words speak about the culture of hip hop, where it was born, where it has gone, and where it is going. It pays homage to Langston Hughes, James Brown, Salt and Peppa, TLC, Queen Latifah, street performers, and so much more. It is a party and a celebration in a book. This was just fun to read and fun to look at. And please note that the back of the book does have a glossary of hip hop terms a who's who, an author's note, and an illustrator's note. I gotta say, this is a Caldecott nominee for me. I just want to show you some of the fantastic illustrations in this book. Like, I have pored over this book several times. There's James Brown right there. Oh, I just love this. I just love the angle of it. I love how, just the way, the dimensions of it. I just can't get enough of this book. I know, you might going, why are you showing me a picture of a 2-deck cassette player? I remember wanting one of these. So I could, you know, record, could play a CD, not a CD, oh Lord, a tape and record another tape. And then there is the incomparable Queen Latifah. She is amazing. Oh, fantastic, beautiful book. Caldecott.
The cover is great.
The cover is fantastic. It is. Let me see if the, okay, it's the same.
And I actually might need that book because I'm reading the book Spin right now
Oh,
by Lamar Giles.
Yes.
There are some things in there I don't understand.
Well, here you go.
Because I'm not hip and, I was going to say groovy, but I guess that dates me pretty bad. I don't know. I'm not hip. I don't know anything about some of this.
I remember listening to TLC back in 1991, all going off the Texas Tech, and yeah, I just.
And did you ever try to record off of the radio and wait for the DJ to quit talking?
Yes.
Yes. Forever.
Forever.
I'll tell you what.
It would ruin the whole mixtape you were trying to make.
Yes. My next book is Comet Rising by MarcyKate Connolly. This is a middle grade novel. Comet Rising is the sequel to Shadow Weaver, which is on the Bluebonnet list for 2019-2020. At the end of Shadow Weaver, we left Emmeline and Lucas in safety, and they were finally safe from Lady Aisling and her evil. Comet Rising starts out with life lived tranquilly, except for Dar, who is Emmeline's former shadow, causing upheaval in the home with her constant tantrums and wailing. But one night, the Cerealia Comet, the reason for Lucas's and Emmeline's magical abilities, returns, but it is 12 years too early. They realize that Lady Aisling is on the loose again with a sky shaker, causing havoc in the magic world. When Lucas and Emmeline try to gather other magic users to help them, they find that Lady Aisling has already taken them and has used their powers. This is an exciting conclusion to this duology. There is not another book. And I want to tell you, I have students on the waiting list to read this conclusion. They love Shadow Weaver so much. When they found out this book was next and they saw it on the back cover of Shadow Weaver, they asked me to buy it. I told them I would, and I wanted to review it, so now I have to get this processed and into their hands and get that list started checking names off.
And it is on Sora. It is in Sora.
It is in Sora. Okay, well then
Sora.
maybe I can put them on Sora as well, and we can have 2 or 3 kids reading. Oh, Sora is kind of like Overdrive was for the public library. I think it is kind of like, it is exactly like Overdrive.
It's an ebook platform.
You can borrow books, ebooks, or audiobooks online. Just ask your librarian how to get into Destiny and find Sora, and you'll be able to access lots of books.
And they can really just log into the Rapid Identity. It's right there in the Rapid Identity.
Oh, okay, that's right.
So you have access to tons of books in Sora.
And professional books as well. So it's out there.
It's out there.
Just in case you don't know.
All right, my next book is Skulls. Isn't that just a cute little cover? It is by Blair Thornburgh. It is illustrated by Scott Campbell. It is a picture book. So I gotta say, when I first picked up this book, I thought it was a book about Dia de los Muertos. I was in for a fun surprise. It's a book about our skulls. It teaches kiddos not to be scared of skulls, how skulls keep our teeth in place, they give our heads their shape, and it's a safe place for our brains. It's not scary at all when you listen to it, when you kind of learn about it that way. The back of the book has facts about skulls and defines some vocabulary words. And the little girl in the book has an affinity for grilled cheese sandwiches. Now, Leah, you know how I feel.
Cheese.
I hate cheese.
Yeah.
But I was able to overlook that for the cuteness that is this book, Skulls. Other than the grilled cheese sandwich thing, super fun picture book.
And I love the picture on the back.
Oh yes, there it is. And so it takes something that kids might think is scary, and it teaches you it's not scary at all. I just want to show you a couple of the really beautiful pictures because they are quite spectacular. They are gorgeous. I'm not going to show you the picture of her eating a grilled cheese sandwich because I do not like cheese.
I know you
don't like it. But still, beautiful book. Love it.
Ghost and Bone by Andrew Prentice, a middle grade novel. Oscar Grimstone is a normal kid. Well, aside from the fact that he has a curse that causes living flowers and classroom goldfish to die if he has anything to do with them. Oh yeah, and did I tell you that he works in a mortuary? Oh yes, he and his mother are very serious about undertaking. Just when Oscar thought things couldn't get any stranger, he meets two ghosts driving a carriage led by two skeletal horses. This is when Oscar learns something else about himself. He can transform into a ghost. He can also see ghosts and interact with them while he is in the physical realm, and he just sees them brighter when he transforms. It's getting crowded with all the ghosts and living people, so Oscar embarks on a journey to discover why he can do all these things. He ends up on the bone-made ship Chiron, and if you recognize that name from mythology, the boat that takes you across the river Styx to the other side. And he goes to the other side, which is a city of ghosts. This is a spine-tingling, page-turning adventure that will keep you in its grip until the very last page. What a quick read. So good.
What a great cover.
Fantastic cover. It really is. I love the horses.
Yes. I'm all about covers.
So, and on the back it says, "Welcome to the city of ghosts."
Woo! Ooh, love it. Love it. Oh, the next one I do not have a copy of, but I'm sure Mackenzie will throw up a picture of the book. It is Lies You Never Told Me by Jenifer Donaldson. It is a YA, or young adult, realistic fiction. Gabe is in a very controlling relationship with his popular girlfriend, Sasha, in Austin, Texas. And after he is hit in a hit and run while on his skateboard, he finds the girl that stopped and saved his life. Her name is Catherine, and she is new to his school. He breaks up with Sasha, and Sasha starts to go a little fatal attraction on him. Meanwhile, Elise lives in Oregon with her drug-addicted mother. She is pretty much the parent and pays all the bills. Now, she is shocked when she gets the lead role in her school's production of Romeo and Juliet and begins to fall for her theater teacher, Mr. Hunter. Soon, an inappropriate relationship begins. Lies You Never Told Me is told in alternating voices of Gabe and Elise, and Jenifer Donaldson eventually meshes these two stories together. Can't say much more, or I'll give it all away. But I can tell you that it is a good one, and I couldn't put it down. It is the way she meshes them. Great. Wonderful book. It was really good. Fantastic book. The Fatal Attraction Situation. Doo-doo.
Don't Call Me Bear by Aaron Blabey.
Oh, I love him.
Good day, my name is Warren, and I have something to share. Just because I'm furry doesn't mean that I'm a bear. A koala is not a bear, but it started with those crazy pioneers when they saw them. A koala is really a marsupial, and koala says if he had $1 for every time he was called bear, he'd be a millionaire, but Australia doesn't have bears, except for at some zoos. You can find bears in Canada. You can find them in polar regions too. Kangaroos are kangaroos, and you don't call emus chooks or chicken. A platypus is not a duck, even though that's the way he looks. Why am I the only one you don't call by his name? Then here he is. At the end, the others call him a cute little bear, and koala storms off. See, he marked out bears here for koala bears. But also at the end, the kangaroo says, "You may not be a bear, mate, but you look like one, so..." He says shush to them. And at the end, they say, "What a cute little bear." Yeah, bears are great.
I love
He didn't
him.
get his point across, but don't call me bear. So wonderful. And I do love Aaron Blabey, all of his books. Pig the Pug, Thelma the Unicorn, I Need a Hug, Piranhas Don't Eat Bananas.
I love
Wonderful.
him. I love him. And my students love Pig the Pug.
Oh, Pig the Pug is very popular.
I had 2 pumpkins for the Storybook Pumpkin Patch. I had 2 students do Pig the Pug.
Oh, wonderful.
No, 3. 2 did Pig the Elf and 1 did Pig the Star. If you haven't read Pig the Pug books, they are fantastic.
Very funny. Pig the
they're
Pug
really
is
funny.
not very sweet to his friend.
No. But my next book is The Wicked Deep by Shea Ernshaw. It is a young adult. It's a fantasy. And it all starts in this tiny town in Oregon called Sparrow. This town celebrates swan season every year for an entire month. The swan season is where the legend states the Swan Sisters come back, take over the bodies of young ladies, and drown young men. The Swan Sisters leave the inhabited bodies at midnight of the summer solstice. Who are the Swan Sisters, you are probably asking yourself? These are 3 sisters who were drowned in 1822 for being witches. Every 1st of June, the legend says, the sisters return for revenge. Every swan season, 3 to 6 young men are found drowned, and for some sick reason, tourists from all over come to Sparrow to celebrate swan season. Yeah, it's ridiculous, but it's awesome. Now, Penny Talbot lives on a tiny island with her mother. Her father has been missing for some time, and her mother is in a state of depression. Penny meets a young man, Beau, who arrives at the beginning of swan season. He is looking to avenge the death of his brother. Now, Penny has a secret she is reluctant to tell. She can see the Swan Sisters when they have inhabited a body. She feels a connection with Beau and wants to protect him from the Swan Sisters. The Wicked Deep has flashbacks to when the Swan Sisters are alive, and we get their backstory. Yeah, this book is good. You're going to love this book. You got to read it. I was listening to this book, and I yelled at my book at one time while I was in the car. So there is something that happens that I was totally not expecting, and I'm screaming in my car at the book. Yeah, pretty funny. Her latest book, Winterwood, was released November 5th, because I know when you see this, it will have already been released. So I was very interested in Winterwood, but I saw this. It's like, oh, let me read this one first, although it's not a series or anything, but I heard so many great things about this one. Loved it.
I have a copy of that book.
So good.
Sounds very scary.
It's so good. I wouldn't say it's scary. But it's mystical and fantasy and a little eerie.
I'll have to dig mine out of the tube.
Well, it had me screaming at my car.
Yes.
I was screaming at the speakers.
There you go. See, I can't listen to books in the car because somebody reading to me makes me sleepy. That would not be good.
Oh, no, not behind the car.
No. This is This Love by Isabel Otter, illustrated by Harriet Linus. It doesn't matter who we are, join hands and stand up tall. Love is a special language that's understood by all. These are the opening lines of this charming picture book. Whether we are reading with a loved one or playing on a beach, no matter the day, the place, or the season, love is understood by all. This is a great book of inclusion and diversity, and there are just really cute, colorful pictures. And I love the cutout. I'm a sucker for a book that has a cutout.
Me
too. It must be the kid in me. I also love the rainbow on the front. And I don't know, it just really caught my eye. Just This Love, a celebration of harmony around the world.
It's beautiful.
So, beautiful little book. Would be a great gift book, I think.
Beautiful book. That was really pretty. Talking about beautiful books, my next book, The Scarecrow by Beth Ferry. It is illustrated by the Fan Brothers. It is a picture book. So in this book, Scarecrow overlooks his field day in and day out until one day a tiny, scared crow falls. He snaps his pole and cradles the tiny crow close to his heart. The crow grows in his heart and he does not question why, and then one day the crow flies away, as crows do. Scarecrow is alone once again until an adult crow comes by and says he will never leave again, and this is where we assume it is the little tiny crow. This time, he brings a mate, and they build a nest in the Scarecrow's pocket. I just can't handle it. This book has me crying every time I read it. The story and rhyming of this book are eloquent, and the illustrations are beyond phenomenal. I have read this book over and over and over again, and I just can't get enough. It is another Caldecott nominee for me. As you can see, all the tabs I have, like, I just get teary-eyed.
I think I saw a picture of you reading this on Twitter to some classes.
Thank you, because dear God.
Didn't I?
You did.
On Twitter.
Leslie was at my library, and God bless Leslie. A few days later, I got the book processed, and she added it to my library.
How wonderful.
Yeah, but let me just show you some of the pictures in this book, because you guys, I can't say enough about this book, the story, but then the illustrations. Oh, just, it is breathtaking. This is now, ooh, look at him cradling that little baby crow in his pocket. I just can't handle it. Look at that. Ugh. Breathtaking. I know. I'm going to show the whole book too. I'm sorry. You're going to want to see this. This is going to make you want to go out and buy this book like immediately, or add it to your library. It is a must-have for a home library. It is a must-have for a public library, school library. Harriet is sad because the crow left. The baby crow flew away. There he is alone in the snow. And then he comes back. I mean, they're hugging each other. Is that not just the best? It's just the best. Have you read this book,
I
Leah?
have not.
Oh, Leah. And then there they are with the 5 little eggs. Oh, Lord. I cannot handle it. It is just the sweetest little story of friendship, and it doesn't matter who you are, that you guys can be friends, and even when you're not supposed to be, and odd friends are, just Caldecott. That's all I can say.
It's beautiful.
It is.
The cover is great.
It is fantastic.
Definitely a mascara alert.
Yes, definitely. I have read this book a million times, and it gets to me every single time. Sorry. I'm emotional.
That's okay. I'm going to lighten it up. This book is very punny.
Okay, you had me laugh.
Punny.
Oh, punny.
It's a punny book. Chip and Curly, The Great Potato Race by Kathy Brusaker, and illustrated by Joshua Hines. After an extensive year-long training, Chip learns that he is up against Curly, a new spud in town. Chip really wants to win the race and be awarded the Golden Bushel Award, but Curly is a worthy opponent and will make the race more challenging. As the race progresses, Chip passes Curly when he falls over a tree root. Chip is winning the race, but feels like he should go back and help Curly and help him make it to the finish line. Later, Curly asks Chip to run the relay with him because he is a team player. Filled with potato puns throughout, this is a great book to promote teams and working together. And I just have to show you this one page because it is full of puns. Because, of course, the couch potatoes have to watch. Good morning, keep moving, the twice baked repeated. Chip heard someone gaining on him, but he didn't look back. Look out, the barbecue Chip shouted. Here comes a hot potato. And then it happened. Curly pulled ahead, and the crowd went wild. Even the couch potatoes stood up and took notice, and the waffle fries couldn't decide who to cheer for. They were waffling. See? It's like that on every page. Very punny potato book.
Cute. That's cute.
Punny potatoes.
I like that.
But so cute. And on the back it says, they're going to butter him up now, Chip muttered.
Oh, Lord.
And he slipped out of his sack and tossed it into the pile. So it's potato chip and curly fry.
I like that. That is super cute. Thank you for bringing me out of my little... I'm a crier,
Even
though.
if it was corny puns.
No, but I'm a crier.
Or potato-y puns.
Potato-y puns. That is really cute, but... Okay, yeah, this one had me crying too because I love animals. This is a book called A Wolf Called Wander by Roseanne Perry. This book was just announced for the Bluebonnets for 2020-2021 school year. This book is appropriate for students in grades 3 through 6. In this book, Swift is a young wolf whose family is killed by another wolf pack. Swift begins a long journey across the Pacific Northwest in search of other wolves to join. Along the way, he encounters humans with rifles, gains a friend in a raven, flees a forest fire, and meets a wolf named Night. Having been through so much, he renames himself Wander and continues on with his life with his new mate, Night. Now, a wolf called Wander does have some black and white drawings throughout, which just adds some richness to this marvelous story. And another one I couldn't put down. I read it in a day. A wolf called Wander is based on a real wolf, OR7 or Journey, who was electronically tracked. Now, I do have an arc of this book, and the resources are missing at the back of the book. But from what I understand, the rear of the book does contain information regarding the real OR7. It has back matter and additional resources and a map. I did do some research on Journey and learned much about this remarkable wolf. I learned that his natal pet was actually not killed, but that he left in search of new territory. He was the first wolf to set foot in California in 88 years. Oh, wow. You can find out all sorts of information on Journey. His travels are remarkable, and his contributions to wolf conservation cannot be overstated. This book is for any animal lover, such as myself. And I love wolves. Like this, I guess I have different categories of favorite animals. Like sloth is my favorite rainforest. Well, my favorite forest animal, and what they've been through. They're making a comeback. Beautiful story.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to read that book. I haven't read it yet, but we've got to read all the new Blue Bodies.
Yes, we do. And I read it in a day. I read it because it has some really beautiful. I'm trying to find some really beautiful illustrations throughout the whole book. But I know you have another one that is gorgeous.
I do. I have, and this is really short. I have the book Dasher. And this is how a brave little doe met Santa and changed Christmas forever. So this is a beautiful picture book. Just to give you an idea of some of the beautiful illustrations. And I love it that it's a little doe. In fact, they say that reindeer are doe, not males. Mm-hmm. So, wouldn't you know, a woman pulling that sleigh? Yeah. Absolutely. So, beautiful book. This book is by Matt Tavares. There was a little bit of confusion, and I had to go back and reread a couple of pages, but I think kids will be really captured by this story, and it just really is beautiful. So,
and this book is just in time for the holidays. It is gorgeous. When I saw this on Twitter, I ordered it immediately.
And then here she is.
Such a beautiful book.
Beautiful. Okay, and I'm done with that.
I'm not going to review these. These are just some. I'm just going to do a quick mention about. I am going to be reviewing this book next month. It's called Roll With It. I'm already on page 43. I started it today, and it already has me hooked. It had me hooked from page 1. This is someone I want to be friends with, this main character. If you're looking for books about Dia de los Muertos, this one's a cute little board book. I just loved it. It is gorgeous. The colors are fantastic. The illustrations are just marvelous. Just beautiful book about Dia de los Muertos. Do you know Little Owl, Leah?
I don't know Little Owl, but Little Owl is very cute.
Little Owl is super cute. So years ago when I taught 2nd grade, there's this book called Little Owl's Night. And Little Owl is beautiful, and I love that book. So I was in Sora, and I saw that this book was in Sora, and it's Little Owl's Moon. Little Owl's Snow, excuse me. And I had no idea that there were several other books about Little Owl. But this is a super cute book. Love it. Just in time for the holidays and with the winter season coming up. Oh, this one. Harold loves his woolly hat, another one just in time for the winter season. And in this book, his woolen hat is stolen, and he keeps trying to give the bird things to get his wool hat back, and eventually he has to climb a tree to get it, but there are baby birds in the hat, and he won't take it. It's so sweet. Just love it. And then I was in Barnes & Noble, because, where else would I be? And I saw this book, Just Read, and what a beautiful book, and paying homage to read alouds and libraries and just books in general. Just fantastic book. But that's all I have for today. I guess that's plenty, actually. But thank you for joining us on another episode of Pages for All Ages. And we're going to have that merch up.
One day.
We're going to get that done.
Yes. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye.